Nichole today, and we are doing a brand new Sims 4 speed build today. And so today is definitely going to be a really great day just because I'm excited to say that I'm finally building another mid-century modern home. And hopefully you guys know, and hopefully you know, but I love mid-century modern architecture so much to the point that I really want to move into a mid-century modern family home that has, like, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, my bedroom, my office, and then a guest bedroom. The generic stuff. I'm more of a suburban homebody type of person, and that's kind of like my style. And so for this house is what I decided to do. I built this house on stream on a Saturday, and you guys can watch the VOD back on the Twitch channel if you guys want to. The link will be down below. However, this is a very cool and unique house because my friend Rosa, you know her as Avalyn on YouTube, and she does like all these unique and creative builds that I was like, I'm gonna pull a Rosa and see what I can really do. And so I decided to go ahead and put the bedroom inside of the roof. However, I kind of did a tutorial on how to make like a roof room, but like what she did is like a skylight, but I used the entire roof, like a section of the roof is all glass, like straight in the middle. And that is where basically your sim will sleep, and everything is actually functionable for you guys to like move around in, get to the desk, get to the bed, and pretty much do whatever you need to do. The bathroom is downstairs, the kitchen and living room and the dining room are all separate, all by in their own little sections. And I personally really like, how I designed it. And I don't know why in the world, whenever I just build on stream, I get creative, but like when I'm like not streaming, I'm just recording, I build the most generic, same old to same old house. I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe because I have people to give me opinions and stuff, and like when I'm recording by myself, I don't really have anyone else to talk to besides myself. And I usually like listen to music or a podcast while building or making a sim. And I don't get it. I guess I just have to build a lot more often. And so speed builds will be happening a lot more often on the channel, and I'm really excited about that. And this house is actually for my new Let's Play that I'm starting on YouTube, hopefully the next couple of weeks. I did a creative sim a couple of days ago of the Mason sisters. It is essentially of the Big Sister Challenge slash the Runaway Teen Challenge mixed together, and I really like how I made their storyline and how I kind of shaped them together as, like, individuals. So if you guys want to watch that video, I will leave the link down below in the description. But this house is actually for a freelancer artist. And essentially, freelancers are, starting off, don't really have a lot of money, and, so on and so forth. But however, my idea is that for the freelancer living in this house is, well off in their career. They have a lot sums of money. They have been showcased in art galleries in San Myshuno, the local area of Oasis Springs, the stuff like that to get their name out there. And they're like 36 years old. They're a 36-year-old female living alone. They have a dog named Piper, and the female sim is actually named Alexa. So Alexa, what was her last name? Alexa Sydney. I think that's what her last name was. I can't remember. However, I'm pretty sure it was Alexa Sydney is the sim, and then Piper is the dog. And I will probably do a creative sim video around that, just kind of tell you more about, Alexa and how she became to be, where she's like, how she affords this house basically. And she used it with all her money, and she earned it. She's a freelancer, worked really hard, long hours, long days, and sticking it to the man. Yeah, basically, doing things on her own and providing for herself without any help. And she has come a long way since she moved out of her parents' house like years ago, like years. Like she moved out when she was like 25. So, but essentially, she has gone through a lot. She has made her way. She is not even married, no kids. She is fine by that. She is gonna be one day a world renowned artist, hopefully in every single world in the Sims 4 that we have to date, because I personally want my Sims to succeed and have like wealth and happiness and all around, good vibes around them and no toxic people to like, you know, make their lives worse. And so for Alexa, I felt like that when I was like, creating her, I envisioned her life where she came from like, a very how what's it called? Medium income, not low caste, middle class family, and they used to live in Willow Creek. And I liked it because Alexa lived in Willow Creek for 25 years of her life, and then also Nichole, like the Mason family, also lived in Willow Creek. So essentially, Alexa and Nichole kind of know each other in some sort of way. Actually, no, that's a lie. They do know each other for sure because Alexa worked at the Willow Creek high school, and Nichole was in art class, and so she kind of, art teacher, art student, you know, student teacher. It just makes perfect sense. So they know each other, and Alexa knows the situation that they're going through. And this is actually one of the two adults that Nichole actually knows, as she's a runaway teen, and all these different things. And since then, like since moving out and getting the job and leaving that job to be a freelancer, um Alexa no longer has to like, do a mandate reporting of like, runaway child living alone, blah, 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 stuff like that. Even though it's like the right thing to do, Alexa wants to knows that Nichole is an awesome, awesome child, an awesome like teenager, providing for herself. She has gone through a lot, the foster care system, losing her parents and running away and living off the land. And in some sort of way, Alexa wants to support Nichole, but Nichole doesn't want the support, if that makes any sense. Like, she's trying to help, but she doesn't want to help. So the best way she can do is making paintings that she has been inspired by in her like teaching career, and putting them up in like art galleries and selling them, and showing that she really cares about the Mason sisters, because essentially Alexa is the only, yeah, kind of the only well trusted person that kind of took care of them for like 1 year after they kind of, yeah, 1 year after they kind of ran away from home, and ran away from the foster care home that they were staying at. And so in that 1 year, they kind of stayed at Nichole's parents' house for a while, and they kind of left that, and so on and so forth. Here we are now in the future of 2019. Alexa's, a freelancer artist. Nichole's a runaway teen living with her sister, her 8-year-old sister, and they're living off the land in Oasis Springs. And I'm just so freaking darn happy right now because I'm finally, getting inspired to create stories that I've always wanted to tell, but never really actually had the time or the patience, or really just had the, the motivation to really tell it. And so ever since ever since Cats and Dogs with the, the Larson family, that family is like 3 generations, well, actually going to be in the 4th generation of the Larson family, because you got Hank Larson, and then you had, their child, and then you had Nate and Nina, and then you have Nevaeh Larson. Like, Nevaeh Larson is like literally the great great grandchild of Hank Larson. And it's so cool to see stuff like that as family trees. And so as for Nichole, what I did on stream is I actually made her parents, and alongside her stepfather, and I essentially had to kill them because they weren't going to be part of the story anymore for like emotional support, like emotional reasons. I made them and then I killed them. Sounds tragic and sad. I know it does. But I feel like for me as a storyteller, I like to have like, generations in the family tree, but like without having it just being blank of like 2 Sims and that's it. Like, you don't know who their parents are, or whatever. And so when you look at their family tree, Nichole knows her mom and her dad and like her stepdad, and they're alongside in the family tree as well. So does Aurora. Aurora knows her parents and her stepdad. So it all comes into play. And I really like that. And so for the Runaway Teen slash Big Sister Challenge, what I'll probably end up be doing is that occasionally I'll go to Alexa's house and maybe talk to her. But for right now, I don't really think I'm going to do that because essentially I don't want to break any rules, even though I'm going to break a lot of rules. But I'm going to keep it to myself. Like, I'm going to make my own rules, but link it in the description when I put out the first episode so you guys know how I'm playing the challenge. Because I've done the Big Sister Challenge and I've also done the Runaway Teen Challenge. And I personally like those challenges, but I feel like they're so restricted in a way where to the point where you can't do what you want to do and you have to follow all these rules. And so I feel like that I'm just gonna do what I want without like not breaking all the rules, but like breaking some rules that literally make no sense to me that I don't want to follow. Like can't interact with adults. Like that thing is stupid because my storyline they can interact with adults, but only certain people that they can actually trust. And that's only one other person. That's Alexa, that they can only trust with everything that's been going on in their lives. However, the other person is not so trustworthy. Like he's gone to jail 3 times in a row of his 48 years of his life, and he has no kids. He has a divorced wife and a dog, a nice little dog that he got from the animal shelter 5 years ago. So he recently got out of jail. And so yeah, he's now living in a nice sturdy home in Oasis Springs. Like it's a very small little house. It's a trailer home and yeah, he's not doing well for himself currently. He's a freelancer writer. Yeah, he's a freelancer writer as well. So like Alexa's an artist and this other guy, I think his name is Kyle or whatever. He is a writer, so he writes for a living, and that's pretty awesome. And I'm pretty proud about that as well. Like he's doing well for himself, but he's like struggling. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's like a me thing or not, but I feel like when my Sims are rich, I don't like playing their household anymore. Like I want my Sims to struggle. Like when your Sims are rich and they have everything, it's like the gameplay's just boring and you don't know what to do. Like they literally have everything. What else could they possibly do? What other job could they have? And you just don't know. And I feel like I love cheating their money, but I only give them money when it's necessary, like not 50,000 simoleons like most people, but I give them like, cash like 1,000 simoleons occasionally. But the majority of the time I just, decrease their money to like 1,000 simoleons, flat rate 1,000, and that's it. And I make them work for their money again to give them a sense of like a value, like give them a what's the word, like make them work for the money, make them appreciate a value of $1 again, like where they started, and see if they can work that way, like work their way up to that point again. And that's what I want for Nichole and Aurora. Like I want them to value, you know, you know, the value of $1 because they were a wealthy family and everything just crashed and burned, lost all their money, and all they really knew is like, money and, wealth and getting whatever they wanted. And now they don't really have anyone in their life besides Alexa. It's like, how do they make money? What's going on? It's weird, it's crazy, it's new, and we're gonna try our best to survive. And so Nichole is gonna essentially steal from people, like from like museums and like maybe no, not Alexa, because she's they're friends. Maybe who knows? She might turn dark. Um, but Nichole will probably end up stealing from like museums, libraries, and like some other places around town if she gets a chance to, because I'm gonna have her quit school based off of MCC the mod, and then have Aurora go to school because I want her to get a good education, because the whole purpose about the Big Sister Challenge is basically training your little sibling to be a good role model and teaching them the pathway of life, and just being a good person in general as they get older. And so I'll have Aurora go to school, I'll have Nichole quit school, and then I'll have Nichole just do whatever she has to do to make money, whether it's stealing, gardening, painting, going to the library, maybe writing some small little books based off like some mods that I have in my game to earn some money that way, but like not too much. But like if she gets like maybe 500 simoleons, I feel like that's a lot of money. And I essentially don't want her to make a lot of money to the point where it's super easy to complete the entire challenge in one go. I want her to like slowly like earn some good old fashioned money, maybe like 100 simoleons every 3 days or whatever, something like that to earn money to like buy a tent or a bed or get a roof over their head because I love storytelling and I ramble a lot, but apparently you guys like it and I love talking. So the more the merrier. And I'm getting all my thoughts out there as like I'm talking, and I usually never really plan out my storylines to the point where I'm like, "Oh, this is the entire storyline." I usually just go with the flow and talk words, like literally just talk words of a storyline that kind of makes sense, and then I put it all together in a Word document that makes even more sense, add more detail, and then put it in like the description of all my videos of that said Let's Play, and which I will definitely do. And I'll also put the storyline in this video so you understand who they are, what's going on, and all that stuff like that. I could essentially write a book. Like, it's gotten to the point where I've done so many storylines of Sim characters, like going back to The Sims 2, when I used to like write scripts for a Sims 2 machinima series that I made with one of my friends in the Sims 2 era on an old channel that's still up there that you can still watch, link down below. Um I it was called Remember Me. It was like these two teenagers named Autumn and Tyler, and like they had a teenage pregnancy and stuff like that. It was like a generic teenage pregnancy, but it had more to it. Like it was like a very emotional, dramatic, and I would say like kind of raised awareness or whatever. Like it was more than just a teenage 16 and pregnant type of series back in like the year 2011, 2012. And we almost made a book about it. Like we literally had chapters upon chapters based off those two characters and their lives and their future and like how they were going to move on from this and how they're going to take care of this child. And we stopped. And it feels so weird that I was literally so close of becoming a published author. Because back in the day, I was in high school making like Sims 2 videos, machinima series, voiceovers, subtitles, stuff like that. And I was all around everywhere, all over the place with that channel. And I really liked it. And I think now that like I'm 23 years old, because 16-year-old me never thought I would still be doing YouTube and still be doing Sims, but or actually no, I think when I was like 16 or whatever, because I started my channel when I was like 14 years old, and I knew I was gonna still play The Sims, but I never really didn't really know that I was gonna actually like continue doing YouTube of The Sims, because I kind of left that channel to start this channel, and that channel only had like 2,000 subscribers, and I kind of did Let's Plays, but then it didn't do really well, and I was kind of like depressed, so I privated all those videos, and I made a new channel called SpringSims, and here I am now, almost 23,000 Spring squatters on the channel, so it's a fun and fresh time for me, and I feel kind of great. However, life is moving forward. I have 1 year left of college, and I don't know what I know what I'm gonna do after college because I have my whole life planned out, kind of. Like, I know where I want to work. I know how I'm going to apply to it. I have the credentials. I have the portfolio. I have all those different things. I have connections. Making connections is a way of life. You got to interact with people to, you got to interact with people to, get the influence, get, the knowledge, and kind of understand how they do their job. And maybe potentially they could write you a reference for that job, and you could get that job based off of a reference and your credentials and your projects and your portfolio and literally everything. Like, if you guys don't volunteer in life, like, literally, if you don't volunteer in like at all in your life, that's not good. You should volunteering is a way of life. Whether, you're doing being a summer camp counselor, that's what I'm doing this summer. Like I do it every year because I like it, but also it helps on my resume because like it just helps as like a leadership role, discipline, responsibility, taking care of kids. Kids are a lot of work. So yeah, so like if you don't volunteer, you should. It helps build character, helps with your career life, helps with your personal, and just all around just being a better person. Like it literally does. Like I had so many volunteer jobs in my life that I have lost count. And I do a lot of volunteering in my community where I live, but also where I used to live and the time before that. And I also have a couple of jobs. I worked in like fast food, but I also worked in like, the office, like office work and the business office. Like I worked in a lot of places, like Little Caesars, McAllister's, my sportsman park where I used to live, where I used to work at my school in the business office, but I also am still working in like I was like, what's it called? Community engagement, if that makes any sense. It's like I'm basically planning events. I'm a student event coordinator at my university right now, and I've done it for 3 years of my life, about to do my 4th year. So I'm like, I got stuff under my belt. And it's kind of cool, kind of cool, kind of fresh, kind of fun. And that's the whole vibe around Alexa Shelby. And I like that. So Alexa Shelby has done a lot in her life, a lot of volunteering, got ahead in life by making, connections, doing what she needed to do, like, professional work and personal work, and put herself out there to be who she wanted to be as a world-renowned artist of Oasis Springs. Yeah. As well as Nichole. Like Nichole, I don't know what she really wants to have in her life. Like she used to do dance. She used to do she used to do dance and also like art and music. Like she used to do a lot of stuff in her life, but then she like kind of stopped because, everything kind of crashed and burned in her life, so she just had to do what she had to do. But now she's 16, has an 8-year-old, sibling to take care of as well, along with herself, and try to find a way to survive in this horrible, wretched, scared little world that we call 2019. But yeah, either way, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments below. As always, I will again have everything linked in the description of what I talked about in this video, the VOD, the Twitch, the storyline, the cast video, stuff like that. However, I had fun talking / rambling. Air quotes, rambling. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys all in the very next video. Bye!